We'll carry on from last week. I'm going to finish off about knowing Jesus as God. But I wanted to be in a position that we understand that if we can see Jesus as God, then we don't see the same limitations on our lives as we put on our lives. Yes. Because if you see him as Saviour, which is good, you need him as Saviour, you need him as your Lord, you need him as your healer, you need him as your deliverer. But if you don't see him as God himself, there's limits that you put on Jesus to what you put on to God himself. We say all things are possible for God. So if Jesus is God, and we see him as God, then nothing should be impossible. It's our thinking that's going to change. And if you turn to Luke chapter 24, and this is where Jesus has risen from the dead, and Jesus and the disciples are going for a stroll, and he's talking with them, and he's sharing with them. And we'll take it from verse 30. As they sat down to eat, he took a small loaf of bread and asked God's blessing on it and broke it. Then he gave it to them. This is an important verse. Suddenly, their eyes were opened and they recognised him. And at that moment, he disappeared. Yes. Suddenly, their eyes were opened and they recognised him. This is half our problem. I'd say it's a good 80% of mankind's problem is not recognising who Jesus is. Yep. Now they walked with him and they talked with him and they've shared time with him, but suddenly their eyes were open to who this was. And we'll continue from there. If you now turn to John chapter 9. And this is about a man that was born blind. And we'll go through this because one of the biggest issues that we have for not recognising who God is that, or recognising that Jesus is God, is religious beliefs. Mm-hmm. Religious beliefs prevent us from recognising God. Yes, please, Scott. And you're going to see in a little while that's so important. Okay, if we take it from verse 13 of chapter 9. No, I better go a bit further back. And Jesus, verse 1, and Jesus was walking along and saw a man who had been blind from birth. Teacher, his disciples asked, why was this man born blind? Was it the result of his own sins or those of his parents? It's not because of his sins or his parents, Jesus answered. He was born blind so the power of God could be seen in him. He was born blind so the power of God could be seen in him. Now, if we look at all the way through the history of the Jewish nation, God was always their healer. From Exodus 15:26, it says, if you keep my commandments and walk in my decrees, then none of the diseases that came upon the Egyptians will I allow to come upon you. because I am Jehovah Rapha, I am the Lord your physician.